What's good? You rocking with your boy Czar, all rights reserved. On the other live I did about 5 seconds ago, I broke down the drunken rage, which I explained to you that drunken is not confused, right? So I'm looking at this happen. Everybody's talking about it. I'm ignoring it because I'm like, something's not right. No one's bringing up the fact being drunk doesn't make you a confused idiot. That's a fact. Being drunk doesn't make you a confused idiot, right? Because that's like me presuming that if I had a few beers, I can grab a rifle, shoot someone, and say, "Oh, I thought they were on my lawn, but they were next door." Yeah, the key witness, okay? Hear me out. The key witness, and out of respect to the deceased family, I'm not saying their names. We're just talking about Amber Guyger, okay? The key witness of the case last night was killed. The key witness and convicting Amber Guyger last night was just killed. He was killed outside. Wait, hold on. The key witness in the conviction of Amber Guyger getting those 10 years, which is light. That's light. You committed murder. That's light. Was killed last night. How? How? Oh, robbery? Are you getting me? Not seeing it? You now understand the mentality of law. Remember, she was part of law. That's a fact. How does someone that's part of law make such a large mistake as to take out somebody who's civilian, presumably in your house, when you got off on the wrong floor? The neighbor next door confirms your recklessness, and they end up deceased right after the case in a presumed robbery. Do you guys get what I'm trying to tell you? The same method that happened to X is the normal method officers are a part of. So this one's an officer. Why wasn't she robbed out? She's a woman walking outside alone. You're telling me that she's never been approached by someone to rob her, but someone in the neighboring building, shortly after a case of conviction against her, gets robbed and killed? Do you see how this works? That is why I tell y'all to stop acting stupid. I tell y'all this all the time. The establishment is now established. To few, it probably won't mean much. But I'm trying to give you the insight you need. It might not mean much, but I'm trying to give you the insight you need. And next video, I'll go into more detail on that. But here's what you got to understand. How much do you want to bet? They are either one of the two things, are not going to find who did that to them, or two, they are, but it's going to be somebody random. It's going to be a random person. Because here's the thing, most people who go for a robbery or something of that nature, there's some type of relativity there. They either watch for a while or it's planned. So they didn't try and rob this guy until after this case was over. Even doing it right after this case was risky. So you're telling me this incident had nothing to do with the officer that was arrested and convicted? It had nothing to do with it? Oh, randomly, someone wanted to rob and kill this one guy outside of this specific complex right after he testified against an officer of the law and she got 10 years. Do you see how dirty they play? This is how they play. X's case. We're just sticking to these guys. We don't see their face in the midst of even holding weapons to do what it is that they're claiming he did. How can we rule without a doubt that the shooters were actually the suspects? This is what I'm trying to twist your mind to understand. This is why I've done it the way I've done it. This is why they ask me, how am I doing it this way? What am I doing? Because I get it. I get it. How I get it. Do you see everybody hugged up now? Everybody's hugged up. Do you see how it's working? Do you see how it's working? You need to understand the method to get how it's working. I'm trying to tell you, as the person in live said, the judge hugged her, the officer hugged her. So if they're hugging her after convicting her, you don't think they're getting revenge somehow? No, revenge isn't on their mind at all. But shortly after the case, he's presumably robbed and killed. The key witness robbed and killed. Really? That's the normal method? That's how they operate normally. That's the normal operation? Do you really believe that? Do you really believe that? Do you really believe that? I don't believe it one bit. And I'm trying to show you a picture that a lot of people think that being an officer puts them in a position that they're able to do something a certain way. But the key witness of this case is taken out randomly out of nowhere. Because in this case, what? What did he do? He got a cop convicted. I keep telling you, it's a team game. Listen, they do not go against the grain. They will never go against the grain. You do something to one of ours, we'll do something to you. This is their mentality. I keep trying to tell people that. This is a mentality taken. When I look at X's situation, I see it seeping all over. Even looking at Jocelyn's, I see it everywhere. It's like you guys don't see it at all. I'm trying to tell you. You gotta look between the lines, man. Look between the lines. They're no different than the Amber situation. It's no different. She's locked up doing 10 years. 10 years off of a murder. 10 years. Name one person you know went out, did a murder, drunk, doesn't matter, and they only got 10 years. Can you name one person? So why is she above the law? Why is she above the law? Interesting. Off the whip, it's interesting, right? Now the key witness dies? Let's be real. The system around us is built to give leeway to those that are part of it. And if it does not, it's because it's deeper than that. Someone can be exposed. That's why they take them out. Be real. Be real. It's in front of your face now. The mentalities are linked. The establishment is established for her. She's established with the establishment. Let me ask this. How many of you have ever seen a female cop make a stop and a male officer didn't pull up around her? These guys are normal for simping for women. In uniform, out of uniform, they simp for women. So you're telling me Amber Guyger, having some type of stature, as a woman who, whether you think she's beat or not, didn't have one male officer that loved her to death? Really? What if I told you I had his name? You think she didn't have one male officer that loved her endlessly? He doesn't care if she killed 1,000 people. He'd love her. Really? These guys are simps. They have no game. They get no play. They wear their badge for power. And they're not going to simp for her? Oh, you got her locked up for 10 years? You made me lose my chance, so I'm going to take you out? No officer that way. Not one. Not one? Not one of you? Because what these dummies don't get, she was playing you just like a fiddle. And you did her work now. Dummy. How magic? It's a mafia. So let's say, for instance, these cops were still beefing with me. Someone stabbed up and shot their wife. Let's say that happened. You think they're not going to blame that on me? They're not going to blame that on me? If a cop's beefing with you, someone snatches your wife, you're not going to blame that on me and say, oh, he did that because he was. Someone beats your son, your adult son, to death out somewhere because he's riding around in the city where I'm from. You're not going to blame that on me. They're quick to do it because they operate that way. Guys, it's right in front of your face now. You now have a direct correlation to say they do for theirs the same way we do for ours. It's no different. They'd blame that on me. Yes, y'all would. If they were still causing beef and someone started busting at your cop car, catching you outside of hours, beating you out your badge, shooting you in your mouth, you wouldn't blame that on me? You would. I can't make this up. You guys you'd be like, check him out first. It's just that they're hiding behind the badge because they're the people that bring criminals to be prosecuted. Us as civilians don't have that power, or you guys would be locked up left and right. That's why I said I have no problem hollering at the feds to make stuff happen. Because bottom line, the locals are out of line. Listen, these locals were out of line till I got some Fed connects. Do you know they straightened up like they were in the army? They knew what was at stake. They knew I would get you guys tortured. Then when you lose that law badge, you're food for me. When you lose your badge, you're food to me. You're food. You're food. I'd eat your food until you say something. You know I could do that. Hey, come over here. I need a squad car. That's all you do. And that's a fact. But alone you run. How many times during this series have they ran? You guys run. One of you ran in uniform. Like, cut it out. Like, I hate it because I know you're a simp. I know you're a punk. I know you're a bum. I know you're just a lame. And I'd break your arms. I know that. But the badge is what protects you. That's why you feel strong. But without the badge, you guys are on a track meet. Without other men around, you're on a track meet. What was the first thing I said? It doesn't matter who's talking about a pistol. If I got one and you got one, it's whose aim's better. That's what I said. I'm trying to show you guys. They work in a way to oppress you. But when they're no longer part of the system, these guys fear for their lives, as they should. Because when you live your life preying on the fall of others, I gotta reap yours and you're not. I got to. You get your deserving. Bottom line. And that's what they don't get. I'm going to try and use a lawful reason to get rid of you. I don't need a lawful reason. I just got to know where to find you at the right time. They can't move like that without other grown men around them making them feel good. I'm telling you, these guys are phony, man. You don't see a key witness. This is like the mafia. If I have a witness against me and I make a call, doesn't matter if he's a cop or what he is, I make a call to a dude. Nothing's going to happen. So this witness is making a statement against me. I make a call. Nothing's going to happen to that witness. They won't find him face down in the gutter. They won't find him. I could show you many cases of where they got the same thing done to them and they ran pointing at the person. When you were trying to convict some people and they found, and I don't wish it on no one, they found your grown son face down in the gutter, shredded. There's multiple cases of that. What did y'all do? Y'all ran pointing at the person you're prosecuting. It was everywhere. But you can do it and the same thing shouldn't happen to you? That's dog. That's insane. You expect to be respected, but you're setting up other people. You're setting up civilians wearing a badge, but we shouldn't set you up. That's it's breaking the law. You're using your power and abusing it to do things. That's why I got my Fed Connects. I want every officer's name that stops me. I want your name. It's for a reason. You always think it's over. Oh, now I showed them who's boss. It's never over when you're fucking with me. I'm sorry, YouTube guidelines, it's never over if you're beefing with me. Most of the cops that I ever got stopped by, you disappear. At least you're not letting me see you again. It's a reason. I'm not playing with none of these guys, yo. Because if I think of my child dealing with you, you need to get handled now, because later, you don't need to be oppressing anyone else's child. And a lot of you got children. So I think you need to think about your child before you violate someone else's. Point blank, period. It's crazy because I know most of your kids. That's crazy. You're out here violating. Like just straight violating. Like they know it's unlawful. They know they shouldn't have did it, but they did it anyway because I got the power to do it. It's unlawful. You know it is. But you don't want to get your home violated. You don't want someone deep in your wife after you did it. Like, come on. Cut it out. We know who you are. You have to say your name up front. You gotta wear the badge with your last name. You can't be found. Are you stupid? The same way they wouldn't even put out the officers' names. They wouldn't put out the officers' name. Number one, they gotta be on the report. How do you release a report to me without the officers' names? The reason you're doing this to the people in X's case is because they don't really know their rights. The first thing I'd want to know is the officers' names arresting me. I don't care how brave you feel. That's going to change later. Revenge is never best up front. It's always best to serve you later. It's always best. Because you go around oppressing people, doing the worst. When some of your cousins are snatching kids or pedos on paper. That's a fact. Yo, I'm going to be real. I've never seen so many pedos on paper till I looked up a cop. They're related to people that just love kids. It's insane. I'm like, is this the culture? If you wear a badge, grab a kid? Bottom line, That's why I built my Fed Connect. So I was like, yo, why are all these dudes on Badge related to these pedos? I was like, are you telling me they're not involved? And he said, well, he was like, you may be on to something. I never really heard of that angle. He was like, let me look into it. The guy got back to me. He said, yo, next time you're in a situation, send me their name and we'll do some research. Flat out. Because I know how y'all move now. It's not play. I know how y'all move business. Keep it moving. You guys are related to the worst people around. Some of the worst type of people you can ever meet. But you want to uphold the law. But you ain't arresting them because they sport your last name and you don't want to feel the embarrassment. But worse is coming for you. Worse is coming for you because of what you've done, because of the fact you hid these things. We have all of you lined up. We have all of you lined up. What if I was to tell you that a week ago, one of those cousins is back at it with kids? Back at it. Not cleaning up his act. And I see a lot of that getting probation, but you're telling me a key witness that helped a life be avenged deserves to die? Not your cousin who wants to touch little kids? No. He's just misplaced. He had these issues for a while. So you think he's gonna get fixed? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. The stuff I'm finding, man. This Amber Guyger thing. I'm telling you this. Bottom line. This woman had somebody that loved her so much, they had to take out the key witness out of pure rage. Her drunken rage, his drunken rage, an establishment established. Do you get it now? It's established. It's an establishment that this key witness went against. It wasn't a person, it was an establishment. That's part of what needs to be understood. I got more, my upload's about to upload, so you get where I'm going with this. With the mixture of Tentacion, I'm about to bring it home in part 3. Give me a second. I'm going to look over some more notes and see what I'm going to add in. The establishment is established. Bottom line, you're rocking with the one and only Czar, all rights reserved. We in the building. CommenterNation, greatest nation since United Nations.